In this video, we're going to be covering the installation of the optional VBA runtime files. Now, not every single user is going to need to install the VBA runtime files. Most of you, however, are going to have to take this step. But once you've installed the EasyStone macro, like we showed in the previous video, once you've installed the EasyStone macro, you go into CorelDRAW, you attempt to open the macro. If the macro opens and you see a proper interface, as shown in the video demonstration, then your installation is complete. If, however, you get some type of error message and the interface does not open as expected, then we need to do the following step, which is to install the VBA runtime files. So if we come in here to the VBA folder here, now you won't have this VBA folder. You're going to, in your download instructions, there is a link to download one of or the other of these VBA runtime files. Now we have a 32-bit version for Windows 32-bit users and Windows 64-bit users. The version of CorelDRAW doesn't matter whether you're using CorelDRAW X5, X6, in 32-bit, 64-bit mode. This part, as far as the VBA runtime files, is Windows specific, so it doesn't matter what version of CorelDRAW we're using. So because I'm using Windows 64-bit, I need to use the 64-bit installer. And again, when you get your email instructions from us, it will only have the appropriate installer for you. You won't get both installers. So we're going to go ahead and choose this 64-bit installer. And it's very, very basic to install. Only takes a second. So we'll go ahead and choose to run these runtime files and hit install. Now, this next part, it says launch my program. Go ahead and leave that checked and click on finish. And this initial message that you get, it may look exactly like you see it here, or it may look something different. It may even appear as though there's an error message that it didn't succeed. See, mine specifically says succeeded. Yours may or may not. And don't concern yourself, at least initially, if it looks like something went wrong. Just go ahead and click OK. Now mine does say succeeded again. Again, yours may or may not. That's fine for now. We'll go ahead and hit again. And one last time. Again, mine shows succeeded. Yours may or may not. Okay? Now we have those VBA runtime files installed. So now we can go back into CorelDRAW one more time. And of course we want to come into our macro manager here, which we see our macro manager, and then we want to attempt to open up our EasyStone macro. Okay, if we open up our EasyStone macro and we don't get the error message that we had got previously, we should see our interface look exactly like this. And if you see that, then you know we were successful in installing those VBA runtime files, and now we should be able to use EasyStone just fine. Any future updates to EasyStone, once we install the VBA runtime files once, we'll never have to mess with them again. Or this, we shouldn't have to ever mess with them again. It's nice to know that we have them if we ever need them, but any future upgrades to EasyStone would not typically require a reinstallation of those VBA runtime files. Alright, so hopefully you are now successful in your EasyStone setup and your VBA runtime files if necessary, and now you'll be able to begin your work here using EasyStone.